Chapter 6. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives, whomsoever they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not abide in man forever, for that he also is flesh, therefore shall his days be 120 years. The Nephilim were in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. The same were the mighty men that were of old, the men of renown. And the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord said, I will blot out man, whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and creeping thing, and fowl of the air, for it repents me that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was in his generation a man righteous and wholehearted. Noah walked with God. And Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And the earth was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. And God saw the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, The end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make you an ark of gopher wood. With rooms shalt you make the ark, and shalt pitch it within and without with pitch. And this is how you shalt make it. The length of the ark 300 cubits, the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. A light shalt you make to the ark, and to a cubit shalt you finish it upward. And the door of the ark shalt you set in the side thereof. With lower, second, and third stories shalt you make it. And I, behold, I do bring the flood of waters upon the earth, to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. From under heaven, everything that is in the earth shall perish. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you shall come into the ark, you, and your sons, and your wife, and your sons' wives with you. And every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shall you bring into the ark, to keep them alive with you. They shall be male and female. Of the fowl after their kind, and of the cattle after their kind, of every creeping thing of the ground after its kind, 2 of every sort shall come unto you, to keep them alive. And take you unto you of all food that is eaten, and gather it to you, and it shall be for food for you and for them. Thus did Noah, according to all that God commanded him, so did he. All right, let's go back up to the verse 1. Continuing now today, this chapter, we are going to pick up with the Noah. We introduced Noah yesterday when we read the book of the generations of Aram, the red man or the ruddy man, this one who was who had went out from before the Lord in his presence in the earth, and the Lord had sent him out from the garden, and we had the genealogy or the listings of his children through a particular bloodline until we come down to Noah, and everybody is pretty well familiar with the Noah story, the flood story, and this one who was managed to escape because the Lord will find out, put him in an ark. The first time we're going to use an ark as an example, and this is going to be the first time in a sense, I guess we could use an ark. The first ark, we are the first ark that carries the law or the ordinances of the law of the Lord. We're going to pick it up here in verse 1. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, daughters were born unto them. So now we're having, as we've seen, and through the genealogies, many men are beginning to be born, and as daughters as well. Sons and daughters, but all of them had many. And we will see that there has been quite a bit of time that's passed during this period, or during these generations where all this was being born. Daughters is the feminine that's born from man, and that feminine is that which is going to carry on, and it's going to be an understanding. I always refer to it as this reflection of the beauty of your understanding. 2, and that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives, whomsoever they chose. So now we're going to have these sons of God. Son of God is basically those that come from God, to come from this God here is the Elohim, or the powers, this might, the strength, and we're going to find out it's those that come from that understanding, that had the understanding and of goodness, and had that understanding, and we're going to find out they began to pervert it through these pleasurable understandings that men have. 3, and the Lord said, My spirit shall not abide in man forever, for he also is flesh. Therefore shall his days be 120 years. The Lord, and that is here we're using the holy name in reference. We will call it the Shem, that name. The Lord said, My spirit, or my ruach, and this ruach is breath. A lot of people call it the spirit. And we've explained this more than once. It's the scent, and we just come through the book of the Song of Solomon, or the Song of Songs, and where we explained that scent as being this exhale, just like the Lord said, I breathed the life into you. That spirit, it was an exhale for the Lord, or that scent, and it's that ability to know the difference in right and wrong. And the Lord set a limit on the number of days, his number of cycles, really, that we're going to go through. It'd be 120 years. And the 100, as we've seen, as we've gone through this 100 represents the completion of the law, which is the judgment. That's what the law is to come to do. And 20 years is going to be redemption. Years is a cycle of days, and it brings you to the full cycle of understanding these periods of light and darkness. We have a period of darkness that we make a little mistake. We can look at it just like that. A darkness is a mistake. You've erred, and you've got to get back into correctness. That's going to be the light, and these cycles of error and correction gives us our understanding. And the greater cycle of these in all is a year. A year is the cycle of smaller understandings that we get a greater understanding from, and suddenly it's like a light bulb that goes off, and you have knowledge. 4, the Nephilim were in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. The same were the mighty men that were of old, the men of renown. Now these Nephilim, we can go to the King James Version, and we'll find out it refers to them as giants. These giants. Now I'm sure there were some tall people in the earth. Giants, I don't know exactly if we can call this a giant. The word is Nephil. Nephilium is a plural of the word Nephil. And we would find in the Strongs it would say giants, not Nephilium. But if we go and look at the root of that word, Nepha, we find out it means to fall, to lie, to be cast down, to fail. And to fail would be more like what it means here. Those that have failed, they've come up short. So instead of being giant, they are short. They have come up short or missed the mark. And that's who they are. They knew what they was doing, but instead they come up short a little bit in those, and they was in the earth too. And these were those that had come down, we will see in their understanding to take up these understandings of men and to twist and use them against men. And they became mighty men. And because they were related to these mighty men, these would be like those rulers, the first ones who would set authority over mankind. They were of old, men of renown. A lot of people called them kings. 5. And the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And the Lord saw it. It was hard. And this Lord here is that holy name, the Shem, the presence himself, saw that this wickedness of man was great in the earth. It wasn't nothing hard to hide, the wickedness, this perversions of understanding, that every imagination, that's what an imagination is, a perversion of understanding of these thoughts of their heart, was evil continually. Always trying to take advantage of, rule over in some way, restrain true understanding, or to take up authority. 6. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And it repented the Lord. The Lord had felt sorry for what he had done, not to man, but mostly to the earth, because man had took the earth and he was using it to distort wickedness and to bring his perversions into being. Man's heart was evil, and those that had some understanding was using it against others. 7. And the Lord said, I will blot out man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and creeping thing, and fowl of the air, for it repents me that I have made them. The Lord said, I will blot out man whom I created from off the face of the earth. And once again, that name is that holy name, that the presence himself, because man had grown so perverted in his ways that the powers that existed was getting ready to destroy man because of his wickedness, his ways, really similar to a lot of the ways we find the pollution, these things that men do, their twistings, their defilement of the way the powers and all that set it into be requires to continue, are adverse to the way man seems to be in his understanding. But there we got this story, and we're going to see the Lord has determined to destroy all things for that reason. 8. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. But Noah, 1, found grace in the eyes of the Lord. Noah. And we know Noah means this one who remains, this one who rests. He comforts himself with the understandings of the law and remains in it. 9. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was in his generation a man righteous and wholehearted. Noah walked with God. And these will be the generations, these periods of time of Noah. The story of Noah is where we're picking up. Noah was in his generation a righteous man, wholehearted, and to be whole means to have the Lord present. We'll find out, and to have the understanding to give you within you. That is the whole man. We have learned that. Noah walked with God, and that's what made Noah whole. He walked with God. He followed the Lord. He followed. And that's going to be the understanding the Lord gave him from the beginning. He chose right, and he followed the Lord. 10. Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And we found out in the last chapter that Noah had these three sons, or these three that would come from him, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. These are Shem, the name. That's the name, or that presence. Ham means heated or prepared. Japheth, the one who opened or reveals. 11. And the earth was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence, and the earth was corrupt before the Lord, before the powers of the Mighty One himself. Everything was wicked and evil. And one man knew, he could see all this, and so could the Lord. And that's all the Lord needed, was a witness. And the earth was filled with violence. And we see a lot of this going on today, and we wonder just how much can the earth bear. 12. And God saw the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way upon the earth. And God saw the earth, and all things that come from it, the flesh that's in it, and behold, it was corrupt. It was filthy. Shakath, a word it was destroyed. It was corrupt. It had gone to ruin. It had decayed. It had been marred. It spoiled. It was trashed, we might say, in a more modern understanding. Somebody had trashed it. And all flesh had corrupted their way upon the earth. All flesh. Now everything had gone out of its proper position, you might say. They had trashed it in their ways and their understandings, and everything they was do was just being used out of the way it was intended to be used. 13. God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. And the Lord said, God said, that's Elohim, the powers, the might, the strength of everything, said unto Noah, the end of all flesh has come before me. The end has come. I can see it from here. The earth is filled with violence through them. That's those that have done the wickedness. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. And we find out the Lord used that of the earth, the water of the earth, to destroy man in this. But we find out the earth has many ways of destroying man. The 14. Make you an ark of gopher wood, with rooms shall you make the ark, and you shall pitch it within and pitch and without with pitch. Make you an ark, and we're going to find out this ark is going to have a purpose. This ark is, it's not so much important what the ark's made of, even though the ark's made of this gopher wood. Was there ever such a thing as gopher wood? I don't know. But I know one thing, the word gopher, Etzgopher, is a tree that's used for housing. And most likely back then it would be a asher tree of some sort, a cedar, an evergreen, a wood that would last, a long time. And it's going to have rooms because the Lord has a plan in it. He has planned to save or to make an example that the Lord does have abilities to do this. And you shall pitch it within and without. And to coat it with tar. To coat it with that. The pitch that's going to withstand that which the waters. 15. And this is how you shall make it. The length of the ark 300 cubits. The breadth of it 50 cubits. And the height of it 30 cubits. And this is how you shall make it. So now we're going to create an ark, and the length of this ark is going to be 300 cubits. Anytime 3 is a word that 3 is like to complete. It's something of strength that completes even by the third witness. See, the testimony is complete. And the 100 is going to be this judgment from the law. And a cubit is just a measurement, a determination that's made, or a set determination. So we get the complete witness of the judgment in the law that's determined or measured out. And that's what we're going to find that the ark's going to represent. And the breadth of it, 50 cubits. And it's going to be used for the breadth. That's the use of it will determine the measurement thereof, or the number of cubits that'll be needed. And that's 50. 50 is 5 is grace. There's grace or favor of some sort. We find out that comes from this work that the Lord does. 50, and that work's going to be the law. 5 tens is the law, measured out. There's grace in this law that's going to be measured out. We'll find out that even though the Lord is going to hold everybody accountable to the natural order of things, and that's just the way it is in life. The height of it, 30 cubits. And its height, it's determined. It's determined to this ends, you might say. It's 30 cubits. 30, and because it's going to complete that 3 tens. That's complete that witness, even of the law being measured out. And that's exactly what we're going to see, my friends, when the flood comes. 16. A light shall you make to the ark, to a cubit shall you finish it upward. And the door of the ark shall you set in the side thereof, with lower, second, and third story shall you make it. A light, that's a window, a little window so you can see, let some understanding in, because it's pitched within and without, and that's darkness. This little light that shines in the ark, it's going to be a cubit. It's a measurement. There's a little bit, and you're going to finish it. It's upward and upward, so it can shine down into. Once again, we have this light shining into the darkness. And the door of the ark shall you set in the side thereof. And the door, the way in and out, that's what a door always represents, of the ark, that which is carrying this. And we'll find out it's a covenant. It's an agreement the Lord made with humanity. You shall set into the side, and it's going to be, you'll make plain, with lower, second, third stories. So it's got 3 stories, and we will be able to witness all 3 stories. 17. And I, behold, I do bring the flood of waters upon the earth, to destroy all flesh, wherein is breath of life from under heaven. Everything that is in the earth shall perish. And I, the Lord said, I, behold, I do bring the flood of waters upon the earth. He caused it. He did that. The Lord, Hashem, that was his presence in the powers and the strengths of the earth. It's going to correct itself. The Lord commanded it. And this here, to destroy all flesh. Waters, my friends, is that which covers. And I always use it as understandings, because that's what it's like. Many waters, many understandings. We'll find out the Lord controls the understandings. They belong to him. And he has brought it this time to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. That breath of life, that which he gave them. And it's from under heaven. It's that which is above, all things below. Everything that is in the earth shall perish. And that's all things in the earth that made of the earth. Every kind of flesh, we'll find out. The Lord was going to spare nothing of that type of flesh. 18. But I will establish my covenant with you. And you shall come into the ark, you and your sons and your wife and your sons' wives with you. but I will establish my covenant with you. And that's this one. Noah, who took up that agreement from the beginning within himself, will find the Lord chose him because he had presented himself righteous in his intent. This word covenant here is barit. It's an alliance. It's like a pledge. And what it basically boils down is to something. The word bara means to eat or consume, to devour. And what this is going to be is something that stops that cuts that off. My agreement in order to keep you from being destroyed with everything else, basically is what it boils down to. Your sons, that's those that come from you, your wife, that's your understanding, that woman, and your sons, wives with you. 19. And of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shall you bring into the ark, to keep them alive with you. They shall be male and female. And of every living thing of all flesh, there will be 2 of every sort. 2 we can witness because it's going to cause it to continue, my friends. And that was the understanding here, this that you could witness. There's 2. 2 is another, again, over, do it again. It's to keep alive with you. And these are all the ones the Lord will cause, the male and the female, that which it be necessary to cause it to continue, the masculine and the feminine. And, we find some controversies because there's going to be actually a few more of those, of the clean flesh. Maybe there was a separation made from the beginning. 20. Of the fowl after their kind, and of the cattle after their kind, of every creeping thing of the ground after its kind, 2 of every sort shall come unto you, to keep them alive. And of all the birds, all the animals of the earth, every bug, every insect, every creature that lives after its kind, of all kinds, after every kind of bird, not just 2 birds, every kind of bird that there was, because in the beginning we'll find out every bird that could be was. And that's the way it was, and they've been dying ever since. 21. And take you unto you of all food that is eaten, and gather it to you, and it shall be for food for you and for them. And take food, take some substance, that's going to be necessary to be consumed. Gather it up, get it together, and it shall be for that which shall be consumed or eaten, and for them, these that the Lord is going to keep alive as well. 22. Thus did Noah, according to all that God commanded him, so did he. And thus did Noah. This one who's going to remain, this one whom is going to rest in the sense that they have comfort from the understanding of the ordinances and laws that the Lord set forth by nature itself, even within every one of us. It's just really some simple understandings we need to go by. Of course, he did according to all that God commanded him. He always had. That's what made Noah different from everybody else. We're going to move forward to Genesis chapter 7. Turn and return.